Hey everyone, I'm THPine and welcome to Leonardo's painting machine. What is Leonardo's painting machine, you ask? I like to call it a Punchcard programming painting game. You can play it for free in your browser and this is what it looks like. So this game is about a painting machine which you can program via punch cards. And yes, it is as weird as it sounds, but it's also very fun, very challenging and very complicated. So let me try to explain to you how it works. So in every level, this is the first level, you get a painting which you can see on the right here. In the first level, it's very simple painting. It just is 8 blue squares surrounding the center square, which is left white. And the goal of the game is to replicate that painting on the left side with the painting machine, which is basically a brush which can move around and paint a square that is above. And you control the brush or the painting machine via the punch cards as mentioned earlier. And in the first level, we only have one punch card, which is down here. So you write a program via a punch card. So the program will be executed from the left to right. So it starts in the most left column, execute whatever commands you did put in there, and then continues one column at a time to the right. And it will stop either when the painting is finished or when the program leaves the punch card. So how do you put in commands? Well, it's a punch card, so you punch holes in it, right? The punch card has 5 rows right now, which means it has 5 different commands. In later levels, there will be more than 5, but in the first level, it's only those 5. The first row is the paint command. So if I punch a hole in here and execute a command, the brush will paint one square blue, and then it will do nothing else because the rest of the paint card is empty. Okay, the other 4 are for moving, up, down, left, and right. So we can tell the brush to move to the right, for example. So now it will paint the first square blue and then move to the right. The commands will always be executed from top to bottom. So program executes from left to right. Commands are executed from top to bottom. Paint first, move later. Okay, what do we want to do? Well, we want to draw 8 blue squares. So let's say we put 8 holes in the paint row. So we can paint 8 squares blue. And now we have to tell the brush to move as well. So let's move to the right twice and then twice down and see what that does. So it paints, it moves to the right, it paints, it moves to the right, it paints again. Now it moves down and it paints again and moves down again. And now it will continue painting a few more times on this square, which is not going to help. But this should tell you how this game actually works, so how this operates. Well, let's complete the level, shall we? We have to go full circle, so now we move left twice and then up once, and that should do the trick. So let's restart the program. We can speed it up a little bit, and there we go. It's a copy of the right painting, and that's the level. That's the level completed, and when you complete it, you get 2 stats. You get how many cycles the program took to execute, and how many holes you needed or you used to write the program. And you can compare those stats with your friends or online, whatever. Unfortunately, there is no online leaderboard. However, there's a Reddit thread where at least a few people shared their scores. So we'll link that in the description below. And you can check it out there and see if you can beat the current high scores, maybe. There are a few people who did pretty good high scores already, though. So yeah, don't get your hopes too high. Anyway. There's one more important button, which is the share button. You can click it to get a link, which you can share with friends or on a forum or whatever, and whoever clicks on it will see the solution you just shared. So that's very handy. And that's the first level, as mentioned. Let's go to the third level, which is a little bit more complicated because now we have 2 colors, orange and blue. So we have to paint orange lines and blue lines. And we have 2 punch cards as well, one for the orange color and one for the blue color. And, well, let's start simple by drawing an orange line. So we punch 5 holes in the paint row on the orange punch card. And then we move to the right 4 times and 1 down. So let's see how that works. Is this doing what I expect it to do? It's painting an orange line and then moves to the square. Perfect. Okay. You might have noticed that there is a new line in this level. So there's the jump up or down to another punch card line. And if I punch a hole in this line and also punch a hole in the move down line, then the execution will continue on the jump card below. So this is not doing anything on its own. You have to tell the program where to jump. So if you execute it now, you can see that it will jump down and continue execution on the other jump card. Okay, this is not going to help us though, because there's not enough space left to write the rest of the program. So luckily there is another function. It's not only the jump up or down command, it's also the switch redirection command. Well, it can do both. Let's put it that way. So in addition to jumping to the other punch card, we can also tell it to change direction to the left. And if we execute it again, it will now jump down and execute to the left. and that will allow us to create a loop. So we have to paint a blue line now, so let's do that. There we go. Oops, that's too many. 5 blue squares, and we move to the left 4 times and then down again. Let's see if that does what I wanted to do. Orange line first, going down, blue line, and ending up there. Perfect. Okay, now we just have to go full circle. We tell the program to execute on the other punch card upwards, and we continue to the right. And there we go. That's the full circle, hopefully, if I didn't fuck it up. And it looks good. Cool. Let's speed it up, and there we go. That's the 3rd level. Minor spoiler, I guess, but there are more levels in this game, which are way more complicated and way more challenging than this. So those are the core mechanics, and the first 5 levels will be beatable, or will only consist of those 5. Those 5 first levels will only consist of those core mechanics, and they're pretty challenging already. So I took quite a time. It took quite a time for me, to complete them, and then I came to the 6th level. So let's take a look at that, because this introduces a new mechanic, which is wheels. Well, only 1 wheel for this level, but later, as you can see here, there will be another wheel. So it also has 3 punch cards, and they're very short. And the wheel basically is a counter, so you can count it up. You can start you can change the starting number, and you can also control it via the punch card. As you can see, the other 4 rows just unlocked, and they increment or decrement the current selected wheel. Only execute the rest of this instruction if the wheel is 0, or only execute the rest of this instruction if the wheel is not 0. So now we got conditionals, and that allows us to build counter loops that execute a certain number of times and do all other crazy, all sorts of other crazy stuff, which you can do with conditionals. So basically, we have a full programming language now, more or less at least. Well, a very basic one, I guess, but it's pretty powerful already, actually. And this level I actually did not beat. I could probably do it, but this game is actually too hard for me. And with too hard, I don't mean that I can't beat it. What I mean with that, it's so complicated that it's not fun anymore to me, which is very unusual, because keep in mind, I'm a professional software developer. That's what I make my money for a living. And I also usually pretty good with games like this. Like, I play TIS 100, I played Infinity Factory quite a bit, so I'm pretty good with games like that in general. But this one is actually, it's so challenging, it's so hard for me that it's not fun anymore, or at least not, like, it was fun until this level. And when I saw this, I was, okay, what is this? Played around a little bit with the new mechanic, and when I figured it out, it was like, okay, no, I'm out, this is too much. This is really, really cool, this is really, really crazy, but it's too much for me to be fun anymore, so I jumped out. I gave up. I just beat the first 5 levels, which was a lot of fun to me already, but then I just bailed out. So anyway, it's still a pretty cool game, and I can recommend it. As I said in the beginning, it's free. You can just play it in your browser without downloading or logging in or whatever. It's called Leonardo's Painting Machine. I will put the link in the description below. You can check it out there. I will also, as I mentioned earlier, put the link to the Reddit thread in the description below, where you can share your scores with other people. Yeah, and well, I'm TH Pine. Thanks a lot for watching. Have fun, and see you next time.